Hello and welcome. Thank you for your questions. In this talk, I will try to give you an answer to the question of why we must suffer, why we must feel sorrow and grief. Why did God, or whichever name you want to give to the source of life, not create only love and light? Let us look at what we already know from experience before we call God to the stand and accuse him. In this world we experience duality. Everything created has its opposite. Unhappiness can turn to happiness, hatred can turn to compassion and love, fear to courage. We know the light because we also know the darkness. In order to grow spiritually, we have to move from ignorance to insight and knowledge by not resisting. Experiencing sorrow and grief, caused, for instance, by the loss of someone dear to us, helps us to accept and let go. Although it may take a lot of time, we can reach inner peace by going through this pain. Let us look at the most horrible pain we can think of, the death of your child. When you lose a child, going through pain is inevitable. You cannot ignore it, it will be devastating at first. This practice may help you reach acceptance of the unavoidable. Send light from your heart chakra to the place where the grief is most acutely present in your body. Grief is a feeling. It has its location in your emotional body. Try and concentrate on the place or places where you feel your pain the most. Then do the following. Even if your pain is ripping your heart to shreds, know that the energetic core of your heart is at its back and that you can radiate light from it. Envelop the place or places where your pain is the strongest with this light. Talk to it. Tell it that you do not want it to go away, that you are willing to carry it, and that you want it to occupy its rightful place in your emotional body. At least for as long as is necessary. Stay there with your attention for at least 5 minutes and see what happens. Do this as often as you like. This is taking back your place as the person who experiences feeling instead of being the feeling that cripples the person. You can always be the observer of your emotions. Emotions are here and they are part of our life, but they are not us. We are the one feeling them. And when this energy in our emotional body is our own, as opposed to some darkness picked up from others, the best thing we can do is acknowledge it and envelop it with our light. Own your pain, don't be it. Breathe and be patient. It will take time to come to terms with this pain, and you cannot possibly know how much time, but you will learn. However, when you feel shattered, it might be too big a task for you to handle on your own. Just seek help from a trusted friend or a professional counselor. There is no shame in accepting help, and there is no human feeling that has not been experienced by others before you. Growing through this darkness toward the light of life is a process of learning, and you can only take one step at a time. Taking that step becomes easier when you let someone take you by the hand. There is no life on earth without pain, and we know that we all must die. However, when we are no longer identified with personality, everything changes. Our perception of death changes, and even the death of a child is no longer what it seemed. Let me give you an example about this pain from the perspective of someone who completed his journey through the darkness. It is said that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be with him, was a gentle husband and a loving father. He had 7 children, and all but one died before he did. The youngest was born when Muhammad was about 60 years of age. Muhammad used to pray to God, "O Lord, please let this one live. Please do not take away this child too." And then this child also died when he was not even 2 years old. Of course the Prophet was heartbroken and cried when he died. Prophets are people, and they come to the light through the dark, just like the rest of us. But after the burial of his son, he just went back to business, and people started talking. They whispered behind Muhammad's back, until one of them plucked up enough courage to ask him, "Master, please explain to us why we do not see you grieving over the loss of your boy. Why are you not sad?" Muhammad answered, "How can I be sad while I see him around me all day? He is here with me, happily playing." Muhammad reached full consciousness, and with that comes the unfoldment of our spiritual senses. He experienced the reality of the spiritual world in and beyond this material world. Then death becomes just another expression of life, not its end. If you happen to be somebody who recently lost someone dear to you, I hope this example may soothe your pain somewhat, even while you still feel your loss. Thank you for watching. Please share your experiences and questions by sending us an email. Stay curious, stay true to yourself, and know that you are worthy of feeling happiness too. See you next time.